Good afternoon. You are watching City News 24/7. I'm Melanie Ng. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau providing hours of testimony today in the ongoing Foreign Interference Commission inquiry in Ottawa. Our Parliament Hill correspondent Glen McGregor joining us now to recap these hours-long conversation. Glen, the Prime Minister taking aim at Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah, some really explosive testimony from the Prime Minister today, talking about how he was briefed in his capacity as Prime Minister by CISIS and security advisors about the threat of foreign interference against opposition parties. And he said he was aware that there were parliamentarians, plural, more than one, either current or past and or candidates for the Conservative Party who were either the targets of foreign interference or in some way implicated in foreign interference. And he said it's too bad that Pierre Poilievre has turned down the offer to get the security clearance to allow him to be briefed on this. He said these were explosive claims that were coming discovered by CISIS, and he thought it was really, really crucial for Pierre Poilievre to be made aware of this. Here's what he told the Commission this morning.
The decision of the leader of the Conservative Party to not receive the necessary clearance to get those names and protect the integrity of his party is bewildering to me and entirely lacks common sense. Particularly when you look at the NCCOP report that clearly lays out, the public NCCOP report that clearly lays out that in both of the most recent Conservative leadership races, there was foreign interference. The fact that there seems to be absolutely no curiosity or openness in trying to figure out what happened or whether someone was compromised or whether a foreign country impacted those leadership races is simply irresponsible.
Now, the Commission in its previous work has really focused a lot on allegations of Chinese interference in Canadian elections, and particularly with the Liberal Party. We saw the whole concerns about the nomination process involving Han Dong, the Liberal MP for Don Valley North, and allegations that China was essentially trying to get him elected because they thought he was friendly to him. But we haven't heard so much about the Conservatives and involving Conservative MPs. There was a report by parliamentarians, and the classified version of that referred to possible foreign interference in the two past Conservative leadership campaigns, including the one in 2022 that Pierre Poilievre ultimately won, beating out a series of candidates, including former Member of Parliament Patrick Brown, who's now the Mayor of Brampton, Ontario. Of course, he withdrew of that over concerns, complaints. He was actually expelled from that race over concerns about fundraising in that contest. So what Trudeau is now saying is that there were multiple MPs, either past or present, and or candidates from the Conservative Party who are some way involved in this, either as targets or as being more actively involved in foreign interference. We don't know specifically what the allegations are, Melanie. The Prime Minister didn't say, and it doesn't sound like he is in a position to say because this is confidential information. But his point is, Pierre Poilievre, as leader of the Conservative Party, should know this information so that he can either present contrary information that may actually contradict some of the findings that CISIS has made, or he can speak to the MPs who are potentially involved, or that he just for the sake of his own party, he should know it. Now, Poilievre has maintained that he's not gotten those briefings because he wants to be able to speak freely about a matter of ongoing public interest. That is, foreign interference has been a big story in Canadian politics for a couple of years, and if he was to get the briefing, he would have to undertake to not repeat certain things. He would learn from it, and that would compromise his ability, Poilievre maintains, to comment on this. So we're going to wait and see what the latest from the Conservative Party is today, how they respond to this new allegation. But it is kind of surprising information that we didn't have before, suggesting that foreign interference is affecting not just the Liberal Party, not just Michael Chong, the Conservative MP, and we heard some testimony about that from the Prime Minister today, about what he knew and what he did about it, but also other Conservative MPs. And now the onus is kind of on the Conservatives and Pierre Poilievre to explain further what is actually going on here. Melanie.
Certainly an interesting development here. Glen McGregor, as always, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.